Indiana Jones on the Great Switch port. And this really is that great. And this sets a standard for games to follow. I originally played this when it first released on the Xbox Series X, and now it is on the Nintendo Switch 2. And although I have been there, done that, got the t-shirt and everything that this game has to offer, I indulged and soaked it all in, because this game is, it was my game of the year when it first released. I usually go all digital when it comes to my Nintendo Switch 2 library because of the game keycards. But to my surprise, this isn't a game keycard at all. This is the full game in all of its glory on the cartridge, which is absolutely amazing. Let's get into it. This game is absolutely gorgeous on the Switch 2. I cannot believe they managed to pull this off on a Nintendo console. I was wondering how they were going to go about doing this, what the port was going to look like. I was worried, but it does not disappoint in one single pixel bit. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, first released in 2024 on the Xbox Series X and S, and later on PlayStation 5, and now in 2026, Nintendo Switch 2. This game takes place between Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade. The game starts with a flashback opening from the first movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark, with everything from that initial movie opening, all of the beats and everything, all here in glorious detail. We join our protagonist Indy in 1937 back at Marshall College, where he disturbs a break-in. A giant named Locus is stealing a cat mummy, played by the late, great, legendary Tony Todd, and the amazing Troy Baker taking on the iconic role of Indiana Jones, originally played by Harrison Ford. And he just does an absolutely 10 out of 10 masterful job at portraying and sounding like Harrison Ford. And also, the big bad, Voss. What an absolutely amazing character Voss is. He is just so menacing and violent. What a character, what a guy. You go up against Voss and the Nazi army throughout this game. In this game you are put on a globe-trotting adventure, and this game feels like you are literally in an Indiana Jones movie. It feels like a lost movie from the music, cutscenes, characters, dialogue and overall atmosphere. It has it all. It captures all of that magic that makes Indiana Jones so special and beloved, capturing it all in every single glorious, magical detail from the 80s. You play this game in first person because the developers wanted you to feel like you are truly stepping in the shoes of Indiana Jones. Then you go into third person when you are swinging, shimmying across ledges and climbing. You'll be relying on your whip to get across some areas as well. And I will be honest, I would have much preferred playing this game in third person, because it feels like this is meant to be a game experienced in third person, not first. Or it would have been nice to have the option to choose first or third person instead of just first and then moments going into third. That does take you out of the overall gameplay when it switches between the two. The levels in this game, the levels are large, and there is these big sandbox open areas to explore, and also some linear levels as well where you can't do as much. And these big open areas, you'll be following your main objective related to the story. You'll also be doing field work, which act as side quests, finding collectibles, which are discoveries, finding field notes and mysteries as you go. This game is packed with adventure. You can also fast travel to different areas. There's also plenty of side objectives to find and discover, from picking up leaflets, documents, photos and notes in areas that will give you objectives, as well as talking to NPCs that will have you doing fetch quests. You'll be picking up items of interest, collecting stuff, breaking into buildings and chests, looting, finding combinations to open safes, sneaking around in restrictive areas, or if you have the right disguise, you will not need to sneak around at all. You can literally just walk through the front door. But depending on how you go about doing some of these things, or if you're in a disguise and the captain doesn't recognize you, just be warned, they will be onto you. And you'll also be finding a lot of keys and unlocking a lot of doors, with plenty of puzzles to figure out as well that will allow you to unlock secret doors, caves, discover treasures and hidden passageways, with a camera at your disposal that will give you hints at solving these puzzles. And you can also bring up your journal to discover how to solve it as well, to give you hints and information that you have obtained so far. And the camera that you obtain will give you photo opportunities throughout the game to capture landmarks and just areas of interest. And there is just loads of things to find and collect, from artifacts, chests, relics and journals to collect along the way that will give you adventure points that you can spend on new abilities for Indy. Like Second Wind, if you get knocked down, you can quickly crawl and grab Indy's hat to get back up. You'll also be doing a lot of tomb raiding in this game as well. With the combat in the game, it does point you in the direction of sneaking and using stealth that is preferred. But you really don't have to. And if you get caught, you don't have to retry like in other games. It's literally up to you how you approach any given situation at any time. Like this, there was nothing stealth about this moment. You use your fists to punch left and right. You can block, dodge and push enemies. And the combat is pretty satisfying. Even when fighting with the AI at times, they block. And they will keep that block for ages before actually going in for a swing. That gives you a stupid amount of time to counter block their attacks, because you often know it's coming well in advance. You can even use your whip to pull them to you by surprise or disarm them. You can also pick up any weapon or item you see and use it against enemies. Some packing a punch more than others. Some blunt, some heavy, some light, all dealing different types of damage. Bashing an enemy over the head with a heavy weapon is always the way to go. Guns can also be used as well, but I very rarely found myself reaching for a firearm. This looks very impressive on Switch 2. Like I said, Indiana Jones on the Great Switch port, and this really does look great, and it sets a standard for games to follow. Yes, it relies heavily on the DLSS technology to upscale this game to look as shiny and impressive as it is, with ray tracing on offer as well. The likeness of the characters, the lighting, the environments, it all looks great. This game runs at 30 frames per second, with a few dips here and there, 1080p docked and 720p in handheld. There is occasional pop-ins as you explore, from lighting in parts of the environment just popping in suddenly with detail, and shadows as well. Even more so if you are running across the map from A to B. And during cutscenes, when Indy's trying to read something, it's blurred, and then it takes a few seconds for that to load in. But honestly though, that aside, it is no big deal. It doesn't at all affect the overall gameplay experience. It doesn't at all take you out of that overall gameplay experience.